Hi and welcome students to 17.4, which is talking about proportional and non-proportional situations. Very important question, guys, in this lesson, which is of course talking about how you can distinguish between proportional and non-proportional relationships. Of course, first of all, you must think if the, let's say, relation, it is linear or non-linear. If it is, guys, not linear, this means that not a straight line. If the relation is not linear, means not a straight line. وبالتالي, of course, it is not la proportional or non-proportional relationship. But if the relation, it is linear, if it is linear, guys, then we can think if this relation, it is a proportional or non-proportional. So, if it is a proportional, guys, this means that it comes in the form of y equal mx, plus, طبعا, of course, it's crossing the origin, the line crossing the origin. Non-proportional, it comes in the form of y equal mx plus b. And طبعا, of course, it's not crossing the origin, not crossing the origin. Let's start with the first example, which is talking about, let's say we have two figures, figure A and figure B, how we can recognize when we have proportional or non-proportional relationship. Let's start, if you can recognize, guys, the straight line here in figure A is crossing the origin. So if it is crossing the origin, by default you will know it's what is it? It is a proportional relationship. Sometimes they said explain, of course. We can say the same reason, it's the line crossing the origin, crossing the origin. While in figure, guys, B, if you can recognize, the line is not crossing the origin. The line is not crossing the origin. So it is non-proportional relationship. Plus, if we said explain, guys, then you can say not crossing the origin. So, from example number 1, we can recognize when we have proportional or non-proportional relationship when we have graphs. Right. What about if we have equations, guys? Example number 2, guys, talking about determine if the following equations represent a proportional or non-proportional relationship from the equation itself. You know that when we have y equals mx, this means a proportional relationship. When we have y equals mx plus b, then it is non-proportional. So now we can start checking, guys, the following equations. Let's start with the first one, A. Y equals to x, so you can recognize that it is in the form of y equal mx. So it is what? It is a proportional relationship. Continue with B. Y equal half x. Also, it is come in the form of y equal mx. Then it is what? A proportional relationship. See, y equals to x minus 1. In this case, guys, y, it doesn't equal to mx. Y is equal to mx plus b. So it is what? It is non-proportional relationship. We reach letter D. If D equals 3t plus 4, not necessarily all the time we have y and x. Sometimes we have d and t. Sometimes we have m and n. So also, if you can recognize that this relationship, it comes in the form y equal mx plus b. So it is, guys, also non-proportional relationship. We reach, guys, the last example, which is E, with the last letter, which is E. 24 equals 12y. In this case, we have only y. X, it is not available, guys. X equals 0. So, guys, this line is crossing what? Crossing the y-axis. But of course, there is no, guys, there is no run here on the x-axis. X equals 0. So also, guys, it is non-proportional relationship. If you guys notice, first example is asking for the proportional, non-proportional from the graphs. Sometimes we have equations, and we read the last example, which is talking about when we have tables. How we can recognize if we have a proportional or non-proportional relationship, from the tables. You know that, guys, relationship is k equals y over x. So we are checking if we have, let's say, a constant relationship or not. So 30 divided by 2, it is 15. So let's check the rest, guys, if it is equal 15 or not. If you noted that in 90 over 8, it doesn't equal, guys, it doesn't equal to 15. It doesn't equal to 15. And also 150 over 14 is not coming equal to 15. So in this case, we noted that there is no constant, guys, change. No constant change. In this case, when we don't have constant change, then it's non-proportional. Non-proportional, guys. Let's continue to table 2. Also will continue. So y over x, let's start, y divided by x is 1 over 5. Let's continue, guys. 8 over 40. 8 over 40, if you simplify, also 1 over 5. Let's continue. 13 over 65. Also, if you simplify it, also 1 over 5. So from this, guys, you can notice that we have a constant change. We have a constant change. At the same time, you will notice that it is a proportional relationships. So guys, thanks a lot, guys, for watching and listening. And don't forget, my students, guys, you can communicate through, guys, the eSchool and the WhatsApp application as well.